Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're playing in map Battle League Season 3. We're playing against Maxøuuu, and this week I have two seeds, which is one of them is Speedrun Reunion, and the second one is Mixed Ukraine. So I'm just gonna start the video because I already played both of those seeds. And because my movement works really bad with OBS, I recorded with standard Windows recorder because it just doesn't overload my laptop, and now I'm playing the video and talking through it. I did play a lot of Reunion in practice for this, so I was a bit worried when I started the round because that was the end of coverage, and I was like, oh, the end of coverage is usually small white road, but I did fairly quickly find a sign that says the end, what wasn't 2002, and it's like to the Saint Denis, I think. It had direction. Did that play the sound? I'm not sure. Yeah, 20 kilometers to Saint Denis, and I noticed that I have the street name next to me, so I am looking for the street, line up the road. It took me embarrassingly long time to find that. But I'll get there, I promise you. So the thing about, yep, I found it. I clicked the end of the road because the end of coverage usually indicates the end of the road. I'm like checking the pinpoint by a lot because in my practice I did found that the scoring on Reunion is really harsh. There's like roundabouts, and you click like slightly like off the turn and you're done. Like it's not a 5k, and in speedrun obviously like you want the 5k. Basically it's like the fastest one to the 5k. Here I found road 11. I see the coast to the south, so I am looking through like southwestish part of the Reunion, trying to find D11 because I had D11 in practice, and like I was a bit frustrated because I'm like, where is D11? The map I played in practice, I played Reunion, the map generated by Alok, and that was really. I didn't get a single 25k on it because either I had a tracker on it which was not pinpointable, and I didn't see any pinpointable trackers, and I asked the organizers if the tracker is not pinpointable, they're gonna include it. They said that trackers can occur if they pinpointable. I didn't see a single pinpointable tracker. So yeah, I didn't learn trackers, and because the scoring is harsh, I didn't get a 25k. Because otherwise, like sometimes you get the road, you get the roundabout, but not the intersection. I'm scanning all over it because I see like D6, D101, D4, and I can't just find D11. Like it was there, and I just couldn't see it. And I moved a little bit again to see like we're closer to the coast, so finally I spot D11. And now I'm looking for the river because we spawned on a bridge, so I have to find a bridge, and I finally see D11 going through a bridge. I go back to start to confirm that this is in fact the same bridge and we're not anywhere else, that I'm not trolling. So I'm just like lining up and clicking. I think this is Maxøuu's avatar that we're seeing in the end of the round, so he did get the first round 5k but didn't get the second round. I didn't look at players, so I didn't know if that's him or if that's somebody else who played the seed. Here I was worried because I didn't recognize the town immediately, but like we have a sign to St. Louis, but it looks like an inland kind of town, and I think the inland is the hardest part of Reunion to guess. So I do take a lot of time on this round. I did find, and like after I found N5, I was a bit more calm about this round. I'm like, okay, I find, because like St. Louis, the St. Louis South is a very general direction for this round. I moved here a lot because I just couldn't understand how that works. And like we're coming up to N5, like, but where are we? Like we didn't spawn on N5, we spawned somewhere urban, and it's yeah, I'm zooming on random street names to just like find anything that I can scan for in a city. My movement once again very slow. Did I look well? Yeah, this is where I found Silaus. I'm not sure how to read that in French. I don't speak French, unfortunately. So this gave me the confirmation of the town, and I see Rue Alsake Korea. This is probably, I read this even slower, so I'm scanning for this in relation to the yellow road, which I do not find at first. Yeah, that took me a long time. My scanning is not the best, and I'm very much aware of that. I'm not saying that like N5 is in weird places, so I am beginning to worry if I didn't, like, when I saw the sign that this coming up to N5, that it wasn't really like the main part of N5. This is why I'm moving back to the N5 set, because I also forget the checkpoint. This is how bad I am at movement. I forgot to checkpoint important signs, so now I'm wasting time doing around. This is also, I forgot that I turned. I was like, oh, ooh, I can't find north also. I'm not sure what gave me the idea to scan west of the city. The turret, maybe? I panicked. I think this is like the moment when I just pure panic. Like I spent 4 minutes, like I have all the info, I know the town, and I cannot find where I am. And movement also works like that. Ugh. Okay, we got here. This is the N5. We're lining up the intersection. Did I not notice that I have the street name right next to me? Yeah, now I notice. Rue de St. Louis. This is gonna be much easier to find, and I will find it in a second. That did bother me that it's not the St. Louis and it is just like St. Louis, but I see the St. Louis, like this road going, so now I thought that I found the road that I saw at the start, but I was like, I'm gonna confirm, and I'm also gonna confirm my pinpoint, because pinpoint was the pink bus stop sign, but I couldn't understand that at first. So I was like, am I on the intersection? No, I'm not on the intersection, and I'm not. I thought maybe like the building, like maybe that's an off-road. So maybe my pinpoint is the intersection, but I went back to check the. Do I find the road name? yeah, I did find the road name. So I checked that this is also that street where I am at. So I'm in between those two streets. So my pinpoint is indeed a bus stop. And that took me embarrassingly long. Yep. And Maxwell also got it. I think this is the point where I check scores, because like obviously in speedrun you need to get more points, and then the time matters. So if you don't have like if you're faster but you lose points, you don't win. So you need to have more points. So this is the point where I actually noticed that he did indeed play the seat, and he did lose some points. So I was like, if I keep going like that, I'm fine. This was the end of coverage, and end of coverage scares me, as I said before, but we're close to the coast. I was like, surely we're like on a main road or coming up to the main road fairly soon, and there's only one direction to go, so I actually can't mess up. So if there is info to find, I will find it just by going one direction. Like, this is multiple directions when I'm struggling. When I have one direction, I'm not struggling that much, but the movement was very kind of slow. And there was a campaign. I tried clicking, yeah, like the movement, like there was like one frame missing, so you can jump over it, but there was no error point to it. And we found a Octon something Bart Street. Le Bart, I don't know. I probably shouldn't attempt saying French words. Yeah, moving is I'm clicking very fast. Just just so you know, like this is just at the speed of how my computer works. This was very annoying because that had the road number, and this was behind the tree, and I'm like, I don't wanna guess how many kilometers to like St. Denis. Like, I don't wanna estimate 65 kilometers to St. Denis. And this had road number, and it was also behind the tree. I just like kept moving around, like I don't want, like this is some sort of D road intersecting intersecting with an N road, and I want to know the number. Just like the number is there. But thankfully there was another intersection that said D17 and N1A. That took me a second to remember where N1A is, and I began scanning for D17. It does say Leton Solibanes. I did have Leton somewhere in practice, and I forgot where that was. Yeah, but like Leton Sol is there. I for some reason thought it was more east. Here's D17. That is the point where I'm confused, because like even if I find the intersection, like what's the road that I came from? Like I see D17, I see N1A, and I'm like I need the road, the end of coverage road, and I don't know it. So I was panicking a lot. I did see camping, and I was like, oh, there was a sign to camping, and I see like, oh, there was like Octave Bernard was the road. Oh God, what did I say in the beginning of the video? Yeah, so I did spot the white road with the dead end, so I'm gonna move to the sign that says the road name to confirm, because it was kind of blurry and I didn't fully read it. Like saw it on the map, I'm like, it looks familiar, but if now when I know the road name, like if I see it, I will be able to confirm if that's the same name. Yep, this is same road, and I'm sending the end of coverage, and we get the 5k. Don't look at the red lines. Yeah, that did not look like I thought the first roundabout was this, and then second roundabout was like this. So I was like a bit confused about the roundabout situation. I didn't realize the first roundabout was the white road. So this is the point where I do notice that I'm ahead in points, and that if I 5k it, I will win, and even if I don't 5k it, I just need to like lose not more than 1.2k. And I spawned and I looked around and I was like, I'm in trouble, because I don't recognize the road or the settlement, and also because the pinpoint looked like the pinpoint is a turn and it's next to like power plant, and I was very nervous. I don't like pinpoints that are turns. So I was like, okay, like I need to find the road number and just then scan for that road, because it's inland, and I think I said before, like I think inland is the hardest part of Reunion. I never, like before practicing for the speedrun, I never, like Reunion has recognizable car meta, so I'm like, oh, we have tape on the back right, zoom in, click Reunion. I never zoomed in Reunion to the level when I need to learn the city name. I never tried 5k in Reunion before this speedrun, so. But yeah, I did find bus stop. I don't know if that's a place, or like I'd never heard of it, and it looked very small to scan for it, so I'm like, nope. Keep going down the road to find the road number, and I keep going, and I don't find anything. I'm like, is there anything on the bus? Nope. I do notice, of course, that we have a river, but there is quite a few rivers in Reunion, so it's not the most scannable situation. Like, there's a lot of them, and probably a lot of will line up. There's another, I assume this is bus stop sign. I don't actually fully know if this is a bus stop sign. But I, again, didn't recognize anything helpful on the bus stop sign, so I keep moving. We have another bridge coming up. Still no way signs. I reset. Yeah, like this is what I mean about pinpoint. Pinpoint is just an like electric power plant that probably doesn't have a POI, and like there's a turn to the north and there's a turn to the south, so we're in between turns. I really dislike those pinpoints. I'm too skill issued to do that. But at this point, I'm very scared that I have no idea where I am, and I actually, like, I was, before playing the seed, I didn't look at like coverage map. I did play a couple seeds, but I should have looked at like refresh place names and refresh where coverage is in my mind, and I didn't look, and I was like, if I just clicked one link and just looked at this for 5 minutes, it would make my life so much easier, because there is not that much inland Reunion coverage, and most of it's tracker too. Like there's a lot of walk-in trackers, so not a lot of it is car. So I would know it if I just spent 10 more minutes in preparation for playing this seed, but I didn't, so it was kind of rough. I was very worried that, like I'm moving for 4 minutes and I didn't find a single piece of information that I could scan for. Not a waystone. I was reluctant to use the new movement, like the bug when it makes you move fast. because I was like, at this point, if I'm gonna find a road number, it's gonna be a waystone, the French one, and it's just like I'm not gonna notice that. So I was trying to be very careful with movement and actually not fly past everything, pay attention to what's going on. But I'm losing hope. I'm like, I have 20k, and I'm like, I'm gonna have 1 point on this round, and he's gonna 5k, and I'm gonna lose, and I'm gonna be very tilted. So this is like the pain stage of me moving. But I was like, I'm gonna move until I find something. Like this is. I also couldn't decide on a region guess because, like I said, inland doesn't really have a lot of coverage. We have mountains and they're very tall, so I was considering like north, like Saint Denis. Is it Saint Denis? I already forgot the place names. There is a city that's more hilly, and there is a lot of coverage there, including white roads that lead up to it. But I didn't really think it looked like that. So I was like, maybe it is more inland, like dead middle of the island somewhere. Maybe it's like southeast. There's also like mountainous something there. For some reason, did I thought that I heard that word before? I don't know. Yeah, I was considering scanning for that word on the bus stop, but I'm like, I don't even know if that's a place name. And even if it is, it's probably really, really tiny, so not worth scanning for. Grand Gullet, no idea what that is. We have a bridge. Like that bridge was the Grand Gullet looked kinda scannable, maybe. I am, as you can see, look very inland. I don't know why I look there. The thing is that my memory is like I already not forgot, but like when I'm scanning like everywhere. Like I know I'm in the mountains, and I just like, ignore this. Yeah, I actually did checkpoint it, I think, maybe. And I do keep moving forward, but not for a bit. I eventually think I will stop. Yeah, I decided that scanning for the bridge and the Grand whatever city is my best bet. I do scan next to Saint Denis because there's a lot of mountains and some of the white roads have coverage. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't checkpoint it. Yeah, I'm going back to the bridge. I did decide that N5 is gonna be my best bet because, like, obviously that doesn't line up, but it's next to a river, it's inland. I don't think it's mountainous enough now, but in the moment I like didn't even think of. Well, maybe it is like where I clicked. Maybe it is mountainous enough. So yeah, I did decide that N5 gonna be my best bet. So I'm trying to line up the river, and this is where I noticed that the river is on the wrong side. So the river is supposed to be left to me, and on the N5, like the places I'm looking at, the river is mostly to the other side. And yeah, like where I clicked, I was like, was the bridge south very close that I crossed? And I'm like, nope. So yeah, that didn't really line up, but I had 40 seconds and I'm like, I was very scared because if he 5K'd and I would lose, I would be so upset. Yeah. I'm just like in panic scanning. I don't have any other idea of like where that can be. So like my region guess was middle of the island. This is kind of the only road middle of the island that I think has coverage and doesn't really line up, but like I don't know. Yeah, my time ran out and it was actually very, very, very south, and it's a tiny white road that I did not know had coverage. Look at how far I've traveled both directions. I didn't know that had coverage. And this is where I was upset that I needed to check. The river also looks so tiny. Like the bridge I was scanning for that bridge. I would never found it. Like even if I found the road name and like where I am. Also, that explains the lack of the waystones and road signs. Like there is no waystone because waystone has a road number and it's not a road number. That's a street. And I guess that is the grand something mountain that was on the direction sign. I have no idea what it was pointing to. Like this is a confusing round. I got 52 points on that, but thankfully, yeah, my opponent also he went north part of the island, I think, and he also dropped a lot of points. So we do win by points because we were much slower than our opponent. Yeah, he went more north from us, so he dropped points there. So that was the reunion speedrun, and the second seed we have was Ukraine moving mixed. I practiced reunion the entire week. I didn't play Ukraine at all. I only played like 3 seeds before playing this one, so and I refreshed my phone codes knowledge. So the problem is Ukraine, like I am from Ukraine, but it's really hard to region guess. Like I don't immediately get any vibes because most of Ukraine is a field. So I heavily rely on reading and place name knowledge. So yeah, like my strategy is like move until you find something. So as you can see, I'm moving. I do find a phone code, and this is 046, and I make mistake because I found what I'm counting is 036, and I'm like, that makes sense. But yeah, I think in a couple seconds I realized my mistake. Because obviously 046 is not Rivne, 046 is Chernihiv, right? I actually need to like do the click on the map to remember. Yep, this is me remembering. Like 44 is Kiev, 45 is south of Kiev, so this is Chernihiv. It looks kind of like it doesn't look built up, like we don't have this low standards for what's built up, but it looks very populated. So I guess it is turning. If I panicked because I was like, okay, this is because that's Chernihiv. like I need a street name, like I need something to scan for in Chernigiv now when I know at least the oblast and probably the town. But street names in Ukraine are kinda hard to come by. For some reason, we do not like putting street signs in on our streets. Like that looked like a big factory, so I was like, if I can find that, that will be very helpful. Chernigivsky прикордонний загін is like border control, I think. So I was like, I think this is gonna be PY because I've seen PYs. I did panic a little bit because like it says border control. So am I closer to the border? So am I not in Chernigiv? But there are border controls that are not on the border. They're like downtown, and like the big factory kind of looked like it's, and like because there's a lot of houses, it's very populated. It does look more like Chernigiv, so I did not find it in time. But I did click Chernigiv. This is not my opponent, this is Bastman, who's just dominating all the seats because he can. But I beat him on this round. So I did got the impression that Maxøuuu didn't play, so I was like, okay, I don't have the pressure of looking at the scores and beating him. We respond on a big bridge. Again, not a region guess in mind. I'm just kind of moving until I find something. I try checking if there is address. There is not. So I'm keep moving. One billboard was empty. This one's also empty. The other one is empty for some reason. I don't know. The city does not look like commercials, I guess. And that one, I don't know. I spotted the sign, so I decided to move closer to the sign. The sign is really hard to read, and I also skipped one sign. The sign didn't say anything useful. So Konotop and Gluchiv, I've heard of those two places. Konotop and Gluchiv is... wait, what? Yeah, and they are both to the north, so I did click somewhere south. I don't know what... there was a URL that says @UA, and sometimes the DPUA is Dnipro, the PUA is Zaporizhia. So there are town abbreviations when it's before UA, there is town abbreviation. I don't know what @UA is even now after I finished the seats. Like, I don't think this is a town abbreviation, and that confused me because that signs that Kharkiv and Poltava are the same direction, and I don't know why we do those signs. Like, those signs confuse me in real life too. So I was like, how does this make sense? In reality, I probably should have, because Kharkiv and Poltava were in the same direction, click a bit more closer to, like, south of Poltava. But because I had 30 seconds left, I decided to scan for the bridge. I did look at Kremenchuk, but I didn't see anything that lined up, and Cherkasy didn't line up, and I didn't think I was in Kiev, so I'm trying to click something on a smaller river, like that also doesn't line up. There's no way Zgurivka or like wherever I clicked is that big of a city, but I needed to click something, and this made some sort of sense, but somehow that was Sumy. Like, like that signage with Konotop and Gluchiv being... where's Gluchiv? I already lost it. Being one direction, and then Poltava and Kharkiv being the other direction. Like, somebody needs to explain to me how that works, because I do not understand. I did try to check for area codes, but those are all mobile, so we have nothing here. I do see a big factory, so I'm moving closer to it. This is 047. Did I not notice that? Oh no, I did notice that. Yeah, I just didn't click on it. I keep moving. We have another not confusing sign to Vinnytsia. So how is it like Vinnytsia to the southwest? I think I eventually forget that sign exists. I am trying to read, there is a town name on the commercial, so I am trying to read that, and it's very hard to read, but I do able to read that this says Uman, which is consistent with the area code, and this is a big roundabout or junction of roads. That's a roundabout, I would call that. So yeah, we enter in Uman from the south, and I'm trying to find where that is, and not there because it's not divided road, so keeping scanning. That also doesn't really look promising because it doesn't really line up. So maybe I did think that I am thinking that the pinpoint is not the turn but a bridge, but I can't really tell if there is water below us, so yeah, I'm just a bit, I'm looking at water here, yeah, I'm trying to find the bridge that lines up with the knowledge that we're somewhere around Uman. I don't know why I focused on this road, but I also not sure what roads have coverage because I didn't look at what has coverage. Yeah, that's the wrong turn. That turns the other direction. I'm not sure what I'm checking. Also, this is like panic movement. I'm like, I don't know what to guess. I don't know where I am. Yeah, and time ran out, and the pinpoint was indeed a bridge. And yeah, that wasn't roundabout. That was like triangle road junction, really. So yeah, also like I did move through that entire area, and I didn't notice the giant lake to the left of me, which is kind of. So yeah, another urban round. The pavement did immediately give me like Western Ukraine vibe, which is like very fake because obviously we have that everywhere, like central streets in Kiev also have that, and Dnipro, the main street, has that, and Odessa has that. But also like, maybe the houses looked a bit more Western. So my region guess was just like West, which is not helpful really. So I was like, I need to find an area code, I need to find something slightly more useful because like West is not really good enough with that scoring. And also I wasn't doing that well points wise, so I was like, oh, I need to do something. But there is like no text, nothing to read. I do notice that there are a bigger road to the south of us, and I do see so yeah, this said Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, which is only Western Ukraine, like religion of Western Ukraine, and that had like that sign for some reason was bilingual. Like this is very rare to my knowledge in Ukraine. So I was like, this is probably some sort of border town. Yeah, that road leads to nothing, and I forgot to checkpoint something. So yeah, I did choose Uzhgorod because it's a bigger city and it's an older city, so that lines up with the pavement. It's like makes sense with the pavement. Also, it's very hilly and it's closer to the border, so that made some sort of sense in my mind. Realistically, could I've gotten that it's not Uzhgorod? I don't know. I have never been in Uzhgorod, so I'm not entirely sure how it looks like. So yeah, I was just like, this is gonna be my origin guess. I need to take some risks because I'm losing points. So I'm just clicking, like lining up grids, trying to make some sort of sense of what I saw. Nothing really lines up because it's, not Uzhgorod. Yeah, but that was Lviv, and I have been to Lviv. I haven't been to this part of Lviv, is my excuse for the day. But yeah, it did look a lot like Lviv, and Lviv is also very, very hilly, which I knew because I've been there. So yeah, you just saw me coping. And it brings us to another round. And generally, in GeoGuessr, when you see a line of trucks on the highway, you are closer to the border. So this was my assumption, but like that makes sense. They just like in the line to the border control. I'm not sure why I'm moving away from the border. I just like chose south direction to move. Probably not the best decision of my life. But I'm using the fast movement because like I think I will spot a sign, a blue sign in the greenery of road. But yeah, I gave up going this direction and I am now moving north, and I didn't notice that there was a sign when I spawned. So, and the sign says Kozacha Lopan, and Kozaki usually, like Kazaki lived and not worked. Well, what did they do? They fought in the like middle of Ukraine, so like closer to the Dnipro River, closer to Dnipro, closer to Zaporizhia. So in like Cherkasy, in general, naming something Kazacha Lopan wouldn't really make sense for the border, for like the north border, at least, because Kazaki do like there were Kazaki in like Rostov and parts of Russia on Kuban too. So at this point in time, I'm thinking that this is not the line of trucks to the border, but instead because trucks cannot go on the roads when it's like above certain temperature. So and most of Ukrainian coverage are taken in July. I do think that we are like, it's just a hot day on the highway, so the trucks had to stop and they just like not allowed to go because I don't know what the temperature limit is, but I do know that that exists. I tried to do a political commercial, maybe it would have the oblast, but it didn't. It did say Kiev was 490 kilometers. So yeah, at this point in time, I already forgot everything that was said about Kazaki, and I'm like, well, Kiev and Simferopol in the same direction to the south of us somehow. So because I forgot I had the place names, I just like I was like, oh, I need something to scan for a place name. I had a place name. I forgot I had a place name, so I'm just moving, and that was Kharkiv border. I'm not sure why they had something named on, like, in honor of Kazaki. Not sure at all. But I guess it didn't really make a lot of sense to guess there, because like that's not for 90 kilometers to Kiev, definitely. And I don't know, I thought that thinking like over there is a much greater risk than clicking there. I'm like covering like those roads. How, I don't know how that worked. And so yeah, this gave me the win because Maxøuuu did play the seed. And is it updated already? Yeah, it is. So I do have 2 wins this week, finally. We came from 2 losses. I can't speak today for some reason. I came from 2 losses to 2 wins. Even though, like, that is not really the win in my book, but okay, at least we beat our opponent. Next week I am playing what's next week? Next week I'm playing Joel, and we playing moving on Soviet Union region and Speedrun in United Kingdom. So this is also gonna be like I'll play the seed and I'll record it, and then I'll record commentary over it probably. And I will train more of my UK because I need to refresh my place name knowledge and also learn some meta about UK. I am not the biggest UK expert, and also moving at Soviet Union could be harder than I expected to be, but I'll see how we can do next week. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!